Thanks for staying with us. Now, far too often, the power of a woman is overlooked, and we are not seen as change agents who are capable of creating solutions that drive change. It was a quote attributed to our guest. Now, to change this narrative and help women use their voices to discover their creative genius, we must be deliberate in showing the woman the strength they possess and how they can lead. We're all aware of the benefits that come with mentorship. Now, in fact, some of the most inspirational leaders of our time have had their lives and careers profoundly changed by receiving mentorship from others. How much can mentorship and leadership do for small businesses? Now, let us hear what you have to say. Remember, you can join the conversation. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. So, Milola and AK, I'm going to bring in our guest in a minute. I don't know whether you have mentor. Let me come to AK.
What do you mean by that?
Because AK, wait now. Auntie, calm down.
Sorry. She attacked me.
Because, AK actually heads she heads the SME desk in her institution. So she's always doing a lot of programs. I know she's always doing different programs for small businesses and all of that. So let me ask her first, then I'll come to you.
Again, sorry. Go on.
But what do you think, how important is mentorship and leadership in building small businesses?
I think it's the bedrock of every small business because there's a saying that, if you're going somewhere, if you know someone that has been there, your journey is easy because the person would actually tell you maybe, for example, tell you how many bus stops you would see before you get there, if there's a pothole. It will make your journey easier. Yes, there'll be new elements introduced, but it will make your journey easier. And, mentorship has been a very old practice, especially among the Igbos. So you see people serving people for maybe 7 years, 10 years. Then they do freedom. Establish the person. And you see that they have been successful, going through that process, and that program is informal, but it is a program, especially when it's done well. And I think they've practiced it over the years, and it helps. And you see the new person starting off knowing things about payments, collection, how to handle different kinds of customers, how to segment them, how to do inventory, all this informal.
How to go and collect from neighbor if you don't have the product.
Exactly.
Very good with that.
And then think of the very generation, Gen Z, that are starting now and want to be their own boss without learning from people. You see the difference? They just get burnt. So the role of mentorship and leadership in business is fundamental. You can't overemphasize.
So let me come to you, Danny. So who are the mentors that helped you thus far?
I have had mentors. I still have mentors. There's a quote that says, if I've gotten so far, it is only by standing on the shoulders of giants. You will never get ahead in life without help. You need to leverage other people's wealth, other people's effort, other people's time. So there's so much you can learn from people who's done what you're trying to do. And they don't even need to do what you're trying to do, as long as they are succeeding in life. The same principle applies. So yes, of course. I have taken mentors from the time I could remember as a young girl, but there were some mentors that have impacted my life real time that their name sticks with me. And if I mention their names, it would be a good thing just to mention. One of them is Kunle Shorium, another one is Charles Utudo, whom you and I happen to know in common anyways. And then you see it and attacking me, asking me if I've had mentors. Yes, they really impacted my life in such a phenomenal way. I had met Kunle Shorium before I met him physically. I've listened to his messages. And mentorship, a lot of time, people think that he has to be physical. You can take mentorship from a total stranger without even them knowing that you're mentoring them.
Or they are mentoring you.
That they're mentoring you. So it's about applying the principles and the lessons that you see them live by.
Absolutely.
Because success leaves clue. And trust me, you can't get ahead without getting help.
Fantastic.
Let me just hail you small. Online.
So
because I just like one thing that she said, that success leaves clues.
It does.
And that's what people these days following people that they don't know their story. I say, if you see someone that's successful and doesn't have the story, just move away.
Yes. There's a pattern. There's a pattern to it. There's a consistency that is required in succeeding.
All right, so let me bring in our guest. Now, in 2020, Tiaye Aragbaye had a vision to return home to empower the women in her home country, Nigeria. As a first-generation Nigerian American, desperate to find solutions to support women in her community, Nancy developed the Lead Her Ship Expo, a leadership conference aimed at providing resources, training, and education to catapult women between the ages of 18 to 40 into leadership roles in their careers, businesses, and entrepreneurial endeavors. She is the CEO of Strategic Solutions Consultancy Global, an organization passionate about social impact and self-development for women and girls. And she's come all the way from the United States of America, live with us in studio. Yeah. Thank you so much. You're such a sweet spirit. Hi, Nancy.
Thank you so much for having me. I saw the age, so I think I still fit in.
You simply do.
Please sign me up.
27, I think. 25.
I'm in between 18 and 20, but I'm trying to be safe.
Thank you so much, Nancy. I saw you nodding when Milola was talking and AK was talking. And, you know, the truth is, this is a subject that's very dear to my heart because I see that a lot of times, you know, we walk into certain things blindly and you cannot remove the role of mentorship or leadership in anything that you're doing. You must always find, and I love one particular thing Milola said about there are mentors that they don't have to know that they are mentoring you. What we have these days is even fantastic. We have so many things online, but people might not take advantage of those things. But, you know, let's hear your overview about mentorship, leadership, and why you decided to say, you know what, you want to start helping small, because it's very important for us who are passionate about helping people and building, you know, we want to see growth in their businesses. Why did you particularly pick mentorship and leadership in particular as that route that you want to take to do the growth process for businesses?
Yeah, I'm glad you asked that question because I was an educator for many years. So just teaching in the classroom. And when I started to think about some of the challenges that my students were facing, I realized that there was a gap in the education system. And this gap is a global gap. Innovation is not taught in schools precisely. Leadership development is not taught in schools. Business development is not taught in schools. And I did not understand why it wasn't, when businesses are what drive economic mobility. It drives an economy. And so I said, entrepreneurship, people just get up one day with a passion or out of desperation. Yes, desperation. I actually started out of desperation. And you get up and you start a business, not realizing you're starting a hustle. You're trying to just survive and make money. But when you actually develop a business, that is strategic. And most entrepreneurs, they wing it until they figure it out. The strong survive. And so I said, this is ridiculous. So I'm not a person that just waits for change to happen. I create change. And so I decided to just develop a program that hits the issue head on. I'm going to create a solution, and that is leadership development. When you develop the leader, then they'll be able to create solutions that really drive change. People start backwards. They start with the business first. You have to develop the person. And that's critical. That's why I started.
Makes
Absolutely.
sense. Well done.
I see you smiling.
That is fantastic, because for a long time I have been a preacher, and just as you introduced, of capacity building. Because sometimes the problem with the business is the person. You get the person getting to understand why you're in business in the first place. Is it to help people? Is it to make money? Whatever the reason is, may not be right, may not be wrong, but really coming to understand that. And that's very important. So my question is, in this age where everybody wants to be a boss, okay, you know, it's been preached on social media, you just wake up and you're a boss. You know, you have people that are 20.
CEO that is wishing herself happy birthday to our CEO.
Yes. Exactly. So nobody, in fact, thinking of mentorship or going to serve under someone is sometimes even sounding derogatory, especially if the person is younger. For example, this is an enterprise, a whole enterprise here, you know, and to think that first I'll go and serve under her, and they think of it as servitude. Okay, so how do you address that mindset that you really need to learn
in humility
before you lead?
Yes, so the first thing I tell people, they say, what should I do? I'm starting my business. You need to get your mind right. Most people don't understand that business is service. And when you understand that business is service, the people come first. And so leadership is critical. When you understand that people come first, you're not really worried about the money. You're worried about the
Customer
impact.
satisfaction.
Impact. You're solving a problem. And when you solve a problem, you create that solution, the money is inevitable.
Absolutely.
So people have it backwards. So what I do in my leadership programs, it's almost a reshaping of their mind. They have to understand why they're in business. The product or the service that they're providing must be a solution for the people. And that's what we have to teach. It's not taught. It's a whole mindset shifting that has to happen. So you have to understand, children aren't taught these things, so they become the adults that are simply just chasing money. So it's truly a shift of the mind, and that is a constant conversation with self and reflection. So mentorship cannot stop. It's not a one-time thing. It's a lifetime development that has to happen, and that's why we have to have solutions and programs that specifically target it.
Thank you. I want to just make some contribution, and this is what I know about taking mentors or being a mentee. First, you have to be teachable. A lot of people are teachable, but they're not coachable. For me, the difference is the ability to learn something and then replicate what you know. So for you to be able to take mentorship in the first place, you have to be coachable and teachable. And now, asking a question. You have people that you mentor. Do you go seeking them, or do they come voluntarily to you? And what are the criteria under which you choose to take them up as mentor? Do you have to do some testing for them to see whether they are qualified, whether they have a teachable spirit, whether they have a coachable spirit? Because it's very, very critical that the best you can give to people is if that individual is willing to take as much as you're willing to give it to them.
Yeah, so a few ways. So I have my program. Some people come to me, but oftentimes I would say I'm a very spiritual person. So sometimes it's that instant connection, and my spirit will just speak to me, and I'll take that person. Sometimes people pay me. Sometimes I'll do it for free, because for me it's not about the money. But go ahead.
You have to go for free.
Don't mind Mila. Mila is very cheeky. Come on, please. Let me,
Go ahead.
I don't want to break your line of protest.
No, but what I will say is I've turned down money because the person isn't coachable. I've turned down money because the person isn't teachable. Again, it's not about the money. Here, take your money back. You're not ready. When you're ready, then I'll know, and we can start again. But yeah, if you want to see the change happen, I'm an impact-driven person. So I have to work with someone who actually wants to develop themselves. I can't want it more than you. And so I would say that is the criteria.
It must be. When a servant is ready, the master shows.
Master
Yes,
shows up.
I'm here for
I see
it.
that. You want to go?
Yes, I want to go. So let's focus on women, because I think for me, there's a fundamental difference between men and women. And that being that men can assemble, they can form an association, they can congregate with ease. So when you see mentorship, for a man it's easy. Like, you see somebody that's doing what he knows or what he likes, brother, teach me. But for the women, we're sort of independent in silos. So how does your organization work to aggregate women to take advantage of this mentorship and leadership program?
Yeah, this is a really great question. A part of what I do with my mentoring and my coaching is getting women to understand that each and every single one of us, we are superheroes. We truly have a superpower. So if I'm operating in my superpower, then my superpower has nothing to do with your superpower. And so actually, if we join forces, then we become the Avengers. But again, it's the shifting of the mind and getting women to understand themselves. A lot of women don't understand themselves. Therefore, they're competing.
I was going there. I was going to come there, to ask that, the common problems that we see with small businesses, right? I would rather collaborate with a business and see us build, right, than for me to just be there all by myself, struggling. You know what? But you know what? We'll take a break. When we come back from the break, I would like for you to touch on that power of collaboration for success. Yeah. Stay with us. We'll be right back. If you just tuned in, we are having an amazing chat with Nancy, right, on empowerment and the role of leadership and mentorship in small businesses. And before we went on a break, please call us on it's not a calling day today. Yeah. Send us an SMS or WhatsApp to 081-803-84663. All right, so before we went on a break, I asked about collaboration because I find it that a lot of times people are not, I mean, I love what AK asked about. Everybody's just wanting to be their own CEO. They want to be the boss. They don't want to, and I see this like, it's almost like there's so much you can do if you can partner with someone that already has something going. Just say, you know what, this is the idea I'm making. Why is it difficult to find women, do that synergy happen between maybe similar businesses? I mean, a friend of mine, she's the CEO of Knick Knack Granola, right? She partners with, what's it called? So Fresh. So Fresh produces, they do yogurt parfaits and all of that. So she doesn't have to go and do a parfait. All she needs to do, you know what, you have something you want to do. I have a product that can go in line with what you're already selling, right? And that's how the partnership is happening. And so as they're opening branches, she's also supplying every branch, right? So how can we build small businesses, to that level where they see collaboration as power, not competition?
I would say two things. I think one, going back to the mindset, understanding that we live in a world of abundance. That's number one. I think people, they have this scarcity mindset. So they think if I work with this person, they're taking funds that I could be getting, not realizing we actually truly live in a world of abundance. I would say that partnering is so strategic. You have to understand, I am not for everybody. I'm very okay with that as well. But I know the people that I'm for will come to me. And I also understand I am not the best at everything. Why would I not partner with someone? Especially if it's aligned to the vision. People are starting businesses for the wrong reasons. It's about them and not the vision. And when you understand the vision is beyond yourself, which is a crucifixion of the ego. So now it's no longer about me. So I need to find the people that will help me to fulfill the vision and provide the solutions and the services needed for the people.
Absolutely.
So that is what the issue is.
Thank you, Nancy. Very, very quickly, I'll be happy if you can, for the benefit of women who would like to be part of what you do, tell us how they can contact you, how they can reach you, how they can be part of.
Are you paying me for this? No, but I think Nancy actually does have something she's doing, and part of why you're here is because you want to give some things for free. Okay. It's absolutely free. You don't have to pay. But I don't know. Maybe they need to pay for it, because sometimes when you give people things for free, they do not have, I mean, AK is here. They are doing constant training for free. Nobody is coming for the training. I don't know.
People are coming.
They are coming now.
They are coming.
They are coming now.
Thank you.
I will take their training very seriously.
But Nancy, you have something that you're trying to put together and for small businesses, and it's for free, right? Is it a virtual thing? Do they need to connect virtually or something? Is it, Yeah,
so two resources that I have. One, I love free things. I love gifts. They're amazing. So I have to give the gift. The first thing that I have is it's up for 2,000 participants. It's a virtual experience. So we have the Leadership Expo, which is actually this Monday on October 18th. Wow. So they're able to register if they go to strategic-solutions.global. There's a link. They can register for absolutely free. We have LinkedIn training opportunities, resume building opportunities, and then a few leadership development texts for them. I also want to, I'm saying it here today, you guys have the exclusive access to this gift first. It's said here live. So we're actually giving away 10 spots for mentoring. So life coaching, business coaching, and leadership development. Because I tell people, money is not enough. You can give someone financial resources. If they don't have the proper skill set and knowledge, it's a waste. So we have 6 months of development for any woman, and I do the application process because we have to vet who's serious. So I'll have an application process for them, and we'll give that 6-month opportunity absolutely free of charge.
Wow. So you have 7 actually, because you've taken 3 out of your spots.
Only 7 spots left. 7 spots.
Okay. So I was going to ask because we can't. Yeah, I know money is not everything. But money, I think, still remains one of the biggest challenges. I'm so sorry, we cannot take calls on the WhatsApp line. just send a message. Today is not for calls. They've been calling the line. Please send us a message on WhatsApp or SMS. Yes. So I was going to say that money still remains one of the biggest challenges, for small businesses. And I mean, I know a lot of business communities. I mean, when was it that we had Ejiro and Ivy Lane, where they talked about business communities and all of that, and the role
accessing
of
accessing
finances and all of that. So when you do this mentorship, are you able to help some businesses that are in need of financial boost? Are you able to help them as well? Because it's also important that they understand the total package of what this mentorship is about. Not giving too much out. And I would like to also ask, what is the success rate? Because we have a lot of these things out there. I mean, there's Wimbies, everybody's doing some sort of, because it looks like women is the rave of the moment now. So the world is female.
Yeah, a lot of people are jumping on the
bandwagon.
bandwagon.
A lot of people are jumping. The future is female, and a lot of people are jumping on this bandwagon. So what's the success rate, and are there opportunities for them to say, there's also the package that can also come with financial boost for your business?
Yes, so on October 18th, we actually have a live pitch competition, and we'll be offering a $500 seed grant. Now, again, businesses typically fail because of cash flow and of planning. They don't have the development. So I understood the assignment. I knew they needed the development and they need money. So what I decided to do, because I'm a former teacher, I track everything. So these women that are coming along with the 10 who we'll give the mentoring to, they won't get the funds, unfortunately, but they'll get the training and development. We're gonna be tracking them quarterly. That is something I'm very big on. Am I effective in what I say I will do? I'm someone who delivers. So if I'm gonna deliver, I need to know what I'm doing well or what I'm not doing well. So we'll have quarterly tracking to make sure that they're getting the outcome that I believe I said I'm gonna give to them. And so my hope is that you all follow the journey. Quarterly, like, what are these women doing? How do they feel? Let them share their testimony, because I'm a little biased. I think my program is phenomenal.
You should. That's important.
But do they, and does it show in their business? And so that's why we've developed a way to track the effectiveness. And do the businesses truly grow? Is the woman different? Does she become transformed after she encounters Nancy Tiaye Aragbaye, after she encounters strategic solutions programs? And that's the hope. So I will say we'll wait and see.
So why did you choose to come back home to do this? Why do you want to make this impact? Why is it so important?
You took the question out of me.
Oh, sorry, my darling.
But it's fine.
You can add more to it. Because people will be asking, you are doing free things.
Yes, and, in the era of Jackba, you are coming back. So what is it, because your blue passport is intact? Just share with us so that patriotic people like us can still have hope.
Can feel the altruism behind your bid.
So I'm going to give you guys a little inside access.
Yes, please.
In 2019, I'm a very spiritual individual. So I love the Lord. When I say with all of my heart, with all of my heart.
We're with you, sister.
Okay, yes. And I prayed for 3 months, and I asked God, I said, I'm a Nigerian in America, not by chance. There's probably 200 million who will change spots with me immediately. And so I'm here on this planet for a purpose. I can't just be here in America enjoying there's a reason why. And God led me to Nigeria. I'm a Nigerian American, first generation, born and raised in America. But my parents are 100% Nigerian from Ondo State, okay? And so I just knew there was a gravitational pull pulling me back to Nigeria. People thought I was crazy.
But people still think that you're crazy.
I think they still do. Yeah. But I just knew this is where I was supposed to be. And I followed it, and I'm here. I'm here with y'all.
We are loving you.
How long have you been around, and how's the journey been for you? Do you feel a reconfirmation of what you already felt at the time you set out? Has it been reinforced further? Have you had times when you were like, I think I made a wrong call?
Not that I made a wrong call, but there were times where I was tired, burnt out. I would even say 2 weeks ago, I didn't know if I was going to be here or not. I was like, okay, how do I start getting refunds? But when it's bigger than yourself, again, removal of ego. It's not about me. So Nancy, you don't get to stop. If you stop, there's people who are not even people who are doing it. There's people who are waiting for me. So why would I stop if the vision is not about myself? So that is what brought me here, and I have to always remind myself and remove my ego and remain humble that I'm actually fulfilling a vision that belongs to the Lord.
I connect with you.
Yeah, so I was going to ask a question. So I'm sure probably also coming into the country, you did your, market analysis to see the dirt of leadership, especially leadership. Let's not even talk about mentoring, because you must get leadership right so that you know what to mentor people. So how are you approaching that? Because as you've said, apart from the heat that is worrying us, the whole process, I know the pains that it takes to start a business, even register one.
Yes.
So how are you attacking that leadership quality that people, need to have? You look at it, are you working with the government or private institution? What are you doing in the space of leadership?
So right now I'm working with private institutions, and I'm hoping that we can be a model of what change is supposed to look like. My ultimate vision is, of course, to tap into government and reform the education. And my hope is that Nigeria will be the first to do it. We're the most influential African country. Why would we not lead this endeavor? And so government has to pick up on this. But sometimes we just need to follow an example. And so right now it's in the private sectors. I have businesses that I've collaborated with. And if we are the change, then the government leaders, hopefully, will follow along.
I was going to ask you, the topic is impact of mentorship, right, and leadership on businesses. Who has impacted you as a mentor? Because there's always something that also births some things in the hearts of a leader. So who is your mentor? Who has impacted you, and how has that impact, mentorship or leadership impacted what you're doing? Even in terms of, because outside of what you're doing now for free, you are a consultant. You do strategy for businesses and all of that. That's how you make your money to be able to do free things, right?
Yes.
So,
yes.
I was going to ask the question. I have programs. How she gets funding and finance.
So who is that person, or who are the people, or what's that thing that has impacted you as a person?
My biggest mentor is my mother.
Yes,
yes, my mother, yes.
I want to hear my girl say this.
Tiaye Aragbaye, that's her name. She's my biggest mentor. She's the woman that I've watched since I was a child. She's so powerful, and she's just always encouraged me that I can be and do anything. Since I was little, I've been different. I'm left-handed, and I'm a Nigerian. So
left-handed people.
Hey, girl. And so my mom has encouraged me to just be the woman that I want to be, and I'm different, and I'm okay with that because my mother has accepted that, and so she's my biggest mentor.
Oh, awesome. Beautiful. That's so nice. I would love to have my girl say that about me.
Oh, mommy girls.
Yeah, my girls.
So finally our phone has died. What's up? So we can't even take messages. We are sorry, we are apologizing in advance. Yeah.
Okay, so I was going to ask, apart from this one, since you've arrived in the country, how was acceptance? Because as was said, we have this in abundance, both the ones that are working, the ones that are there for the gram, and the ones that don't know what they are doing. So how did you get, what was your entrance like into the market? In terms of finding people to talk to? Did you arrange this before coming? Has it been really getting people to believe in your difference and taking you on?
Believe it or not, it wasn't that hard. And I think people want the change. They want it. They just need someone to lead the change. It's interesting. I think in the diaspora and in Nigeria and across Africa, this change is wanted. Believe it or not, I have about 8 women from, I have US, I have Finland, I have Canada who are here in Nigeria with me specifically for this cause, this Leadership Expo. And they love it. They've been transformed and they want to be a part of this movement. That's what I call it, a movement. And so when people see that you believe in the vision, then they in turn, they fall in line and they believe. So it hasn't been that hard, surprisingly.
Wow.
Yeah, and I think that visions grow when people come together and they harmonize their energy and their thoughts. There's a way they recharge and connect to even higher forces. So naturally, you would find people of like mind who would want to connect with what you're. So a lot of what you're saying, I can connect with it, not because I'm on TV, but really and deeply I can, because that's the direction I'm going in my life.
Yes.
And I think that we're having this meeting at this phase in our life. It's not a coincidence.
It's
really.
for you.
What is going on right now?
So where's that woman out there we're looking for? Because so part of why it was a no-brainer bringing Nancy on the show was the fact that, I mean, we've always talked about SMEs. Every Friday we talk about businesses, we talk about how to improve the business and all of that. For me, I think, you know, mentorship cannot be overemphasized, but why do we still have people not really pay attention to the subject of mentorship and leadership? Why? Is it for lack of faith, or maybe I've just heard too many things? It's just like Aspire to Perspire is everywhere on Instagram, you know, there's all these fellow aspires to perspire people. Why are people not? Because if you understand the principle behind leadership and mentorship, you would know that if it was going to take you 3 years to get to a destination, you probably take maybe 3 months or even less than that, because somebody has just.
Well, can I lend a little answer to that? That's because people have been getting away with doing the wrong things. Exactly. You'd ask why some organizations are taking the decisions that they're taking. It's because they've been getting away with it and they've been succeeding. So it is so hard to now tell someone to pay attention.
Go through the process
exactly.
Of
I mean, well,
and mentorship.
In fact, just as you've said, they have a mentor that they don't know that what they have is a relationship, because there's someone that they're looking at, they're doing the wrong things and he's succeeding. So that way they're having the virtual mentorship or some involuntary mentorship program that they don't know that they are in, and they're seeing their mentor doing the wrong thing and they're following. So somehow they are getting mentored. But I think it's the people that is, you know, the people that are doing the mentoring that is a problem. So I don't know.
And I also think that desire is stronger with different people. There's a nudge that comes, like I always say, where do our thoughts come from? It comes from our 5 senses. And the next place our thought comes from is intuition. When you get an inspired thought, sometimes the desire to do something is not even your thought, or you take credit for it. It's actually a divine mandate, just like what you got. You can take it upon yourself. Oh, I thought about something. It's actually not your thought. So when a soul or a life is going to go in a particular direction, you will be nudged, you'll be guided, you'll be there. Stop looking at me funny. There's a bit of sarcasm to you, because I'm really, sincerely, that's what I feel, and this is what I know. So many a time, if your life is going to be charted in a particular direction, you would get divinely inspired thoughts that you would then take action. Sometimes you would want to stop. It wouldn't let you. It wouldn't let you, because the assignment, like he said, is bigger than you.
You'll be like John that will swallow.
It's bigger than you, and you cannot just say, I do not want to do it. Yeah. So sometimes it has to be that it is also part of who are you fundamentally? What's your primary assignment on this?
But Nigeria can frustrate somebody.
I was going to ask a question about that. Please, can I quickly ask the question?
That's your final question.
That's my final question. My final question is: do you think what's the role of local content? By that I mean
the Nigerian factor.
The Nigerian factor plus a tradition and culture on leadership. It has to be something.
It's tough because the culture has adopted something that I would call improper as proper. So the entire country is operating in this system, so it's very difficult. Even the landing from the airports, okay? So, but again, when you understand the assignment, you have to come up with creative solutions. I can't allow the distraction to stop me. So it's, what is my entry point? And I can't change a culture or a system overnight. And as a matter of fact, I'm not even the only one. There's people who will join the movement. But I think it's understanding where we currently are. It's the reality. And so how do I deal with the reality? Okay, what's the small entry point? And then we slowly just start to build, and it's like seeds planted, and then it grows into the beautiful fruit. So it will take time. But it will happen, and I believe it. I truly believe it in all of me that it will change.
All right, so I was going to say that that Nigerian factor will always be there. But do you think because we want to partner with you. This is actually good. It's good for us, to be able to keep the conversation going. But do you see yourself for the long haul in this conversation? Yes. So let us ask now on live television, so that tomorrow when I call Nancy,
how long are you coming?
She will stay. She has blue passport.
She has blue passport.
Yeah, this blue passport.
Oh, this is when you say there's purpose work. It's different than passion. It's different than just a job. This is not a job. This is why I'm here on earth. And so I'll die doing this. This is my life's calling. So there's not anything on the planet that will stop me. It doesn't matter who you are. My mother fought me for my mentor. My greatest mentor, my mother, fought me for 6 months.
Wow.
I went against my mother. I was willing to take myself on the retreat and at the expo. I would have been there by myself. That is how committed I am. And I think people who know me understand, just leave that girl. Let her be crazy.
So in that spirit, what are you promising the 10 free slots that you're giving to those women? What is the promise for them? Are you saying?
I would say I promise them transformation.
That's significant.
That is different.
Do you have people who volunteer to be part of what you do?
I do. That's the beautiful part. So I have a leadership retreat also happening. So my women from the Western world, so again, Finland, the US, and the UK, they've even promised free services for these women.
Wow.
And so that's why I can just boldly say, this is what we're gonna do. I have support. I have people who are willing to do this. That's why I said it's a movement. This is not a game. And so it's just a beautiful thing to see what the power of collaboration can really do.
Awesome.
Wow, awesome.
Thank you so much for putting
Awesome.
So look at
there.
me now. They should look at me now, because next time you see me,
I'm
I'm gonna be transformed.
transformation.
Yes.
Oh, we've had a fantastic conversation, and we wish you a very, very successful stay in Nigeria, and hopefully 10 lucky people. How do they even do it? Okay, follow us at PlusTvAfrica, send a direct message, and you also need to follow Nancy. I think her handle, we'll post it on our page, so you follow a handle if you're interested. It's 10 slot too, so.
And
7.
3 is
It's
gone.
7 now.
3 is gone, no?
Thank you.
And just note that we have more ladies on which, if you like,
In fact, we have 10.
We're out. We
So
might
if
have
you-
taken up the entire
So
slot.
you better, it's better that you are following now.
Follow now.
Follow now.
I said it that we'll be giving out freebies. So before we go do a show, thank you, Nancy. Thank you, AK. Thank you, Milola. We had a fantastic conversation. Before we go do a show, you follow us on Instagram. Follow now. You can drop a comment, interact with us further. More importantly, we have given away. It's not we are planning. We have given away 10 slots for free. Okay, 7. Sorry, 7 slots.
If you want to give away your slot, why, it's fine. Please don't touch my own.
So please keep watching The Ways brand and keep believing in us and follow the conversation. We're here to also impact your life. We cannot leave you the same way we met you. Your life must change, on account of watching this show. So make sure you tell your friends and family to watch and follow the conversation. Now, if you missed today's quote, here it is again. Very important quote. Show me a successful individual and I'll show you someone who had real positive influences in his or her life. I don't care what you do for a living. If you do it well, I'm sure there was someone cheering you on or showing the way. A mentor. That's from Denzel Washington. We'll see you guys on Monday as we bring another great conversation to your screen. TGIF.
Ciao.